When it comes to entry-level phones, you may be like me. I don't want no scrubs. So listen in, you don't need to go chasing waterfalls because there's a manufacturer who wants to give your wallet and your communication needs some TLC. Hey, if this video or any of the videos you've seen on this channel help you, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button so you get the latest updates when we upload new content. This is the TCL 10L. I've done an unboxing with all of the specs. You can watch that here. I first got a glimpse of this phone at CES earlier this year, and I was impressed with how good it looked, but couldn't wait to get my hands on it. First thing you need to know, as it puts this whole review in context, is that the phone is available now for $250. TCL is doing that because, as you may already know, they make some really high quality, inexpensive displays, but they also have their hands in other things along the supply chain, which allows them to have more control over keeping costs down. So being that most of you know them by their Roku smart TVs and other monitors, let's start with the display. Unlike the TCL 10 Pro, the L has a flat, not curved display, and to be honest, I prefer its shape. The Pro, however, is a nicer AMOLED display with HDR10 certification, whereas this 10L is an LCD, but it is no slouch either. This 6.5-inch Full HD plus 1080 by 2340 display reproduces wonderful images, as I noticed while I was looking through my wallpaper collection. The details are sharp and the colors are vibrant, this Spider-Man wallpaper being a brilliant example of just how sharp details can be and how vivid colors appear. The display is equipped with Next Vision like the 10 Pro, which pushes the colors and saturation when you're looking at photos and video, and it does a solid job of that. They call this a notch display, which is a term which simply means there's a notch in the corner for the camera. Watching content on this $250 phone is a satisfying experience thanks to the quality of the display and the speakers, which get more than loud enough. Let's take a look through my review test playlist with the addition of a new video I've been digging, which really shows off how vibrant the colors a display reproduces. I'm going to start with the weak point of this LCD, and that is brightness. Though text and related content is bright and readable outdoors, watching The Witcher's banquet scene exposes the difference in brightness between this and the 10 Pro's AMOLED. Having looked at a lot of the displays, the difference was immediately noticeable to me. Now, color-wise, it looks great, but for movies which have a dark atmosphere and are colored accordingly, the 10L takes a hit. But here's the catch. That hit is only with Next Vision activated. As you can see here, with it off, the scenes become quite watchable again. No hit to brightness. You'll take a hit in color saturation, but for The Witcher, I'd have to say it's acceptable. For live action content, which is bright and vibrant, you'll have no complaints with Next Vision active. Watching Our Planet, my turtle scene, the colors and content look wonderful. Now, here's the rub with Next Vision off. The lack of color saturation is highly noticeable and makes things drab. Mighty Grand Piton, very nice with it on or off. A new trailer I've been looking at, Urbance, really looks and sounds excellent on this phone. So, live action with Next Vision, quality will vary video to video depending on what it is. Animation, you're good either way. Fortunately for consumers, there's much more to the TCL 10L than a pretty face. Under the hood, you're getting a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which when paired with the lower power consumption LCD technology, got me on my longest day 21 hours of battery life with 12 hours screen on time, and that was with 2% left. This battery regularly left me with plenty of extra juice at the end of the night, and I was loving it. There are no compromises where power and stamina are concerned with the phone. On the back of the phone, above that battery, you'll get a fingerprint scanner, which I found worked flawlessly. Every time I placed my finger on the scanner, the phone unlocked immediately, even though the screen itself took a beat to light up. And with their first UI, TCL gives you plenty of options to extend the functionality of the fingerprint scanner beyond just unlocking your phone, as you can see here. I currently have it set to bring down the notification shade and long press to go home. And TCL UI gives you plenty of customization options elsewhere, along with helpful tweaks and functionality on top of Android 10. There's a smart key on the left side of the phone, and the software allows you to connect shortcuts to this button, which can be accessed by single or double tapping the button or long pressing the button. Then there's Next Vision, which I talked about already. With this LCD panel, this functionality gives you extended color range and really provides some beautiful warmth to images, both stills and videos. I have it set to upscale standard definition video to high def, and the color set to vivid with a slider in the middle of warm and cool. One of the enhancements in TCL UI, which I found accidentally but absolutely love, is that when you're in the gallery looking at images full screen, if you swipe up on the left side of the screen, you're able to change the display brightness. How many times have you been looking through photos and had your display set dimmer than you'd like and had to go into the notification shade to adjust? I know it isn't a huge deal, but now it's just a couple swipes less to get to where you want to go. And I talked about this in my TCL 10 Pro review. The folder carousel is handy. Tap on a folder on the home screen and the folders on all of your home screens come up in a carousel. Nice. And thanks to the 6 gigabytes of RAM, everything feels like it moves nice and swift between folders. It's all snappy. And speaking of snaps, let's look at those cameras. You get TCL's quad camera horizontal stack on the rear of the phone, flanked by LEDs. You get 48 and 8 megapixel super wide, a 2 megapixel macro lens, and 2 megapixel depth image sensor. For $250 worth of camera, you wind up with pretty solid images from the main camera at 48 and 8 megapixels. The images are sharp with low noise, but some may find color oversaturated. You can always turn off HDR or go into Pro mode to control that, but everything on full automatic, that's what you're gonna get. That said, as you can see in this image, the details are sharp and the colors are actually pretty true to real world. This was taken later in the day, closer to that famed golden hour. Taken just moments later is this photo with my wife and dog. As you can see, the colors are very saturated and warm, a big difference from the flower image. The shadow, contrast, and color of this image of my dog in the complex's doggy part is actually pretty sharp and the colors very saturated. Taking a look at the 2 megapixel macro, your pics are going to look great on this display, but zoomed in, you'll notice the noise in the image. That said, this image of this yellow flower with a ton of bugs in it turned out quite nicely. And even if you zoom in and pixel peep a bit, you still wind up with a pretty decent image. No night mode on the TCL 10L, but you can use Pro mode to get in there and adjust those settings so that you can get the most of low light captures. So where are we with this? For $250, I don't think you can go wrong with the TCL 10L. At this price point and for a first outing, there's a lot more to like about this phone than dislike about it. Its fingerprint sensor is fast and accurate, the display looks great, and the speakers get pretty loud. I'd still like to see rapid charging, but the battery has been like Atlas for me and held my world on its shoulders without flinching. Now, the only thing which needs to be seen is the longevity. How long will this phone last until you need the next one? TCL has officially said it will get at least one future Android update. Hey, if you are thinking about picking this phone up, you should head on over to reviews.org to the site where our researchers have done plenty of looking into the best rate plans, what's the best out there for you for your dollar. You can check those out and help you decide where you're going to buy and take this phone, if this is the phone for you. If you have any questions that I didn't answer in the review, leave them in the comments below. I will get to them. As always, we don't take it lightly that you took your time to watch with us. We appreciate you. I'm Tshaka Armstrong for Reviews.org. Catch you on the next video.